Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jay, and I'm here at the Man Cave show. I'm here with my good friends, Al, Tommy, Raj. Today, I'm happy to have you guys back here again. Today, we're going to be talking about emotions, sex, and relationships, and how they all factor in, and how we men think it very different from you ladies out there. You might not like what we have to say. They're just kidding, but we're going to start off like that. Guys, let's be real. When it comes to emotions and sex, when we usually have sex with women, at the first point, it has nothing to do with emotions, but we usually get involved with them later on after sex, where a woman at that point in time, the first time they actually are with a man, they consider themselves in a relationship. I don't feel that way, and I know a lot of you guys don't feel that way, because to us, it's just like, you know, it's just like just starting off right then and there, as opposed to a woman, you know, wanting a relationship with you. I mean, I've had situations where women come and they are with you, and right after it happens, they're already saying, so where's this going? Are we going to be together? What does this mean? Where, you know how we guys are, we're just simply thinking, you know, we had a good time. We can do this again another day. What do you guys think about that? I mean, that's just how I look at it.
Like right after the Facebook status wants to change. Hey, when are you changing that? When are you going to put in a relationship with?
Exactly.
Well, you guys are a lot younger than I am. I go back, you know, so
How was it
different?
How was it
Facebook.
different?
You're talking about MySpace days.
I mean, forget about MySpace. There was nothing. There was not even
No
pictures out
space?
yet.
They used to chisel on rocks.
Oh.
No, yeah, you know, back then it was relationship was a relationship, and then you had sex and you got married.
That's it.
Get out of here. It was
Yeah,
like,
today relationships are like happening. Sex is happening everywhere and every place.
so you saying that was less frequent then? It was more learning the person first before even getting to sex, or is it, or it wasn't like now that we meet, you like a situation where you're in a club hanging out with a girl, and all of a sudden you meet, goes, hey, let's hook up that night, and we take it from there. Where back then it was more like courtship.
Well, you courted the girl, yeah, of course.
So first base has changed now, I guess.
Yeah,
You know,
It's home on first.
exactly. My version of courting is, hey, I like what you have. You look like you have a good future back there. Can we hang out?
Yeah, no, I say that now. I feel like I'm disrespecting a woman.
See, that's the difference.
Today, I guess girls like that,
But they like that now.
I would never do that. Not even today, I wouldn't do that.
I mean, I've seen many guys come up and say that, as opposed to some guy. A guy can come now and you do it your way, the way it used to be, and come up to a girl and go, hey, how you doing? My name is so and so, and they'll be like looking like, look at this guy. Who is this guy? You know, I don't want to talk to him. And you have that, you know, with the blocker will come on. Don't talk to him. This is with someone else. You know.
Right.
And that's and you know, that's just the way it is.
The way Al was raised is very similar to how I was raised. Very old school. Very, you know, you kissed a girl on the first date. That was it. You take the girl out to dinner.
I didn't even kiss the girl on the first date.
Yeah.
What?
No, it took me, seriously.
Sometimes,
It
yeah.
took me a while before I even, you know, I held hands and stuff like that.
Wow.
This topic is about sex and relationships, right? So every man has their own sex and relationships in different ways. Right? I know you guys, probably young guys, are totally different. I've talked to a lot of young guys and their sex and relationships. It ain't nothing. It's just like going out on a date and having
Right.
sex, and that's not a relationship. You know, they'll see the girl 2 weeks later and go out again and have sex again.
Or
So I don't understand it. I just don't see the way you guys look at it that way.
See, the way we look at it is like this. Now things are different. We have more options, especially with mass media, internet. We have more options to meet more people. You know, with that being said, you can meet someone and you can sleep with them, and we look at it like, okay, I met you, I think you're nice, we'll have sex, whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean in our eyes that we're going to be with that person. Yeah, we might sometimes, in some extreme situations, you can actually have sex with someone, see them like 2 or 3 weeks later, and both sides will actually act like nothing ever happened, because, you know.
Yeah, I never went through that.
Well, it's a little uncomfortable, but it has happened, you know.
Yeah,
Because I mean, of course, women are still, you know, more attached. most women. But with the way society is changing, they're teaching women to actually be more like men now. So they're starting to actually catch up. Finally, thank goodness. But finally, they're starting to catch up.
You know what? First of all, this topic is sex and relationships. Is a topic where I shouldn't be really talking about it because I don't have sex. I'm too old. You guys are young. I want.
Stories? Yeah, we got stories.
You got to go off camera for some of them, but
Yeah,
for
true.
young guys' stories nowadays compared to.
So let's hear 'em.
Exactly.
Let's hear 'em.
Go ahead, Raj. Tell them one. Why not?
Well, in my experience, I think it's a balance somewhere in between what you gentlemen are saying, where the ladies I meet, they want to have a sense at first of being treated like a lady, so they still want me to open the car doors for them or to give them flowers and things like that. However, they don't want the courtship to be that long where it's a few dates later and then you start with first base of a kiss and so forth. They still want to have that, or else then you're locked into the friend zone. Then it'll be too late. You'll just never get to advance anywhere else. So I think it's a balance of treating them like a lady, but then also you're doing things like to stimulate their senses and the passion, as well as give them a little bit of a challenge too. So not just be a total nice guy, but give them some, you got to pick on them a little bit too, flirt with them a little bit too, to arouse their senses and also want to escalate things. So I think it's a balance that I've been seeing in just the people that I've been dating as well for the past few years.
With me now, with me,
No?
with me it's a little bit more crazier. You see, I understand your point, Raj. I used to be that nice guy that used to, court and be, and be very nice to them or whatever. But I learned something. I'm gonna give an example. There was a girl that I used to know before I did my music, that she was cool with me. I tried to court her, try to do everything I could to make, to get her attention. She wasn't bad to me. I'm not gonna say she was bad to me, but you could tell that she wanted to put me at that friend zone you want to talk about. And I never said nothing disrespectful, always treated her good and everything. Forward a few years later, I'm doing my music, things are going great, whatever. She runs into me, right? Now, I'm a different person. We all change. I'm not saying I'm a bad person, but I am a man. And you know how we men are. If you're gonna give it, we're gonna take it. That's just the way it is, Not in a bad way, but that's just the way we are. So she comes, and she's like, "Oh, Jay, remember me, and all that." And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm looking at her like, "I remember you." But she's looking at me like, "Oh, I remember, oh, we could hang out and everything." And she's putting her hands on me, and now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be, not kind of like a jerk, but I'm like, I'm telling her like, "Damn, you look good, baby, my God." And I'm thinking she's gonna be like, "Oh, we're not friends like that." Or I thought she would get offended. She was all over me. No lie. By the end of the night, it was a done deal.
Did you marry her?
No. I didn't marry her.
But you tried to push the envelope a little, push the limits.
Now, why do you think things changed like they did?
Because you see,
The time that you saw her last to that time.
I think what changed, different things change, but I think the major point is, what changed is that when it comes to sex and relationships, women have certain, they have certain ways of, they categorize people. And that goes along to when they're gonna have partners. They categorize this one guy as, he's a safe guy. This guy, he's the wild guy. I can party with him, but I can have a relationship with this guy.
My God, man, has things changed or what, Al?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't agree. I just don't agree with some of these women out there if you're saying they're like that.
Yeah, they are.
I don't go out there. I'm a busy guy. And when I do go out there, if I go out with my friends or something, I see the girls that are out there. And I see guys trying to pick girls up. I see it's easier for both sides today to meet somebody, to have sex, and not a relationship. And that's what it is, because when you have, oh yeah, I went out with what's her name that night, and I didn't see her for 3 weeks, but I'm going to go see her 2 weeks, and we're going to have, I'll take her to dinner, and then I'm going to go take her home. And I'm like, but what do you do? How many girlfriends you have? Well, she has a couple of guys, and I have my couple of girlfriends. And how does this sex and this relationship stop? Like, you have a point, because when I have sex, I got a relationship going on. You know, I'm going to have a relationship and sex, and we're going to move on in years and years and years. The only thing that I think could stop that if the person gets tired of each other and they're going to go their separate ways.
And then start anew.
Right.
With different
Start a
people.
new one. But this way, it's like they're starting a new one every other day.
Because the truth is, the
Doesn't
way,
it get don't you get tired of it? Like eventually, don't you want to just settle down
just settle down?
and get married and nice,
Yeah, have kids or
family,
something?
kids?
I definitely do, but in the meanwhile,
Yeah, but how are you going to find a girl that you're gonna like you just said, you're going to open up a car door,
Yeah.
you're going to go bring her flowers,
Yeah.
but she still wants a little bit that night. She wants you to make out with her, she wants you to touch her,
a little bit, yeah.
right? And then
Somewhat.
maybe then
But still, but not.
But if you're sleeping
lot.
with her the first, second
Yeah,
date,
you're gonna think
do you
she's a
marry
pig.
that girl?
you think she's
You know,
a
I
pig.
mean, we knew girls that like that. They're called pigs. I mean, that's what we.
Yeah.
You never sleep with a girl on the first date, second date. Then it was the third date. But when we were dating, you know, girls that we knew we were going to marry, it was 2-3 months. You're waiting. You know? Now it's you're hearing
No,
first date.
seriously, you know,
That's what it used to be.
It's the way I see now, and the topic that tonight is sex and relationships, made me think 2 weeks ago, what am I going to talk about? You know, and I says, you know what? The only thing to talk about is just talk about sex and relationship that's happening now. You don't want to go back in the 1980s or the 1970s when I was dating, because the girls that I was dating were from my neighborhood, and I respected them. You know, it was like we're friends and we go out, take you to dinner, take you to this.
But I don't,
if there
think,
was some
I don't
kind
think it's not that they don't respect the women. I think it's just
Nah, they don't respect the woman.
no,
They don't respect.
they're just going with the changing of the times. I mean,
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Relationships are different.
Right.
This, you know what? There should be a couple of girls here, really, because I don't underestimate and stuff. Because girls have things to say about men.
yeah.
Sure.
Well, I have a question for you guys as well, Al and Tommy. What about other ladies that are more your age? I just wonder how they are now.
MILFs?
If you know of any of them that
What, cougars?
if you know of any of them that are single, how is it with their sex and relationships? Like, are they still from the old school mentality that you guys talk
know
about, where it
what,
takes a
Raj?
while, or has that changed with them too?
Most of the
You're right.
people
That's
I
a
went
good-
to
that's-
school
that's
with,
good.
high school with, that were friends on, social media sites.
Yes.
Everybody's married, kids. It's the,
There's a
I
lot
don't
of
know. I think
divorces
my
as
generation, where I graduated, everybody was still in that old school.
Okay.
Everybody got married very
And
young.
they were still together.
22, 23. Everybody got married young. Now,
Yeah.
10 years, cut 10 years later, there's women out
What about the
there.
divorced ones now that's in that
Yeah,
age
the
group? I'm just
divorced ones.
curious with them. Is it?
None of them want to go out there.
I could tell you about those.
I mean, I'm
They do go out
assuming
there.
that it changed for them as well, where
Yeah,
they're thinking more.
sure.
That's changed,
that I
I'm
have to
sure.
say, because I have dated a few women that have been divorced and they're a little bit older, and they want to their attitude now is, okay, I did the kids, I did the marriage, I did all that. There's a whole world out there, because remember, they married young. So now they see these shows like Sex and the City and all these other stuff that all these other older women are doing, and they say, you know what, I want to experience and catch up on what I didn't do back then, and I want to do it now. So what do? They start going for younger guys. They start partying in the clubs. Those are what you said, the MILFs and those women. And you're wondering, like, man, don't they have anybody? They're making themselves look bad, but they don't care, because in their head, they're catching up on what they used to have and the fun. And if you notice, most of them hang out with younger girls. They're running around. They're high into the fashion of now. They don't want to look old. And now with the technology, man, they're doing their breasts. They're doing their faces, Botox. With all of that, they can actually compete with the women that me and Raj be after.
I know a lot of young girls that get their boobs done. So whatever they put in their backsides to fill in, they
Yeah.
have butts. We're talking about 20-year-old girls up to about 30-year girls trying to impress the other people with their body.
Exactly.
So it's not like the older people. The older people I could understand, they sag, or even guys. I know guys that go for stuff.
Yeah.
Guys are going for liposuction, stuff like to look good.
Chest
They're taking
implants.
shots. They're doing whatever. The girls today, the young girls, you see them all over the place. They're all enhancing their boobs, their sex objects. I don't consider a woman to be a sex object until something's happening. But today, these girls are walking around already showing the sex. There is no relationship.
Right.
Exactly.
It's all about sex.
Yeah, but here's the thing. These young girls, and Raj can attest to that, they use this to try to get a relationship. Because in the back of their head,
How are you
they're...
going to get a relationship like that, look, being a pig?
Is that healthy?
I don't want to say nothing to any of these
Yeah.
girls out there to hurt anybody's feelings. It is what it is. You know, I go into places, I go to eat restaurants, I go eat with friends, and I see what goes on there. I don't go to clubs, but there's places where there's dinner, and then at 11 o'clock it turns into a dance
Or
place.
like a lounge.
And then you get all these people coming in, and you see these girls that come in with nice breasts, fancy butts. You know, it's like...
I like that fancy.
Yeah, they're
butts.
fancy, you know, but
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. They come in and like
Made to
that.
order.
So they're looking for something.
Correct.
What? Me, I'm an older guy. I'm 53 years old. I got respect for all women. I respect a woman as my mother, like my mother.
Yeah.
Okay. You go into a place. You see a waitress or you see a girl or something. You talk to them nice. I turn around, and I see guys treating them like shit,
Yeah,
and they like it.
and they love it.
So, the topic today is sex and relationships. Where does the relationship fall in on a woman like that? How could you have a relationship with somebody that wants to be abused or doesn't want to be respected by a man?
Just a different kind of relationship that you're used to. It's the 2015
True, there's-
relationship.
Right, well, 2015, I think it was 2000, 1999, or whatever.
Right.
I have 3 daughters, women, 3 daughters. They all got married, they all went out with the guys when they were young, and that was it. They got married, they have kids, and stuff like that. We grew up, I told my daughters, you go out, you're coming home at a certain time. And they respected that. Today, there's girls out there, 3 o'clock in the morning, coming home at 21 years old.
Yeah.
Or younger, man.
You know,
It's
and they don't have a boyfriend, but they're
That's
coming
crazy.
home at different times, or they don't even come home.
Correct. Teenagers. Yeah.
So
you're right.
where is this going to be in another 10 years?
Well, I really don't know where it's going to be, but I know it's going to be very crazy, very wild, and very spontaneous, and I will be there. That's all I can tell you. 'Cause-
Jay seems very happy about that.
I guess Jay's happy.
Very happy.
You know, and
If I was your age, probably I would think the same thing. You know, if I was in that young mood right now. You know, I don't feel old. You know, hey, listen, Tommy,
But see-
me and Tommy can have a 22-year-old girl.
Exactly, and
if I
that's
want.
my point.
Right. But I have to put a $100 bill and lick it and put it on my head. Maybe she'll go out with me. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
know why? But that's the
What
funny.
would they want with me?
I'll tell you what they want with you: security. Because a lot, you know, women when they go out, especially these women that they do all these things, they want, number one, they want attention. And that's fine, you know, they want attention. They attract the wrong attention, but they want attention nevertheless. Every woman, from the ugliest to the most beautiful, wants some type of attention. And sometimes they feel that they're competing with women that are just flawless, because women now, look, by their teens, they're already doing things themselves to enhance themselves. So they're already beating other people to the punch before they're even in their 20s.
Yeah, but see, if they start now, at the age of 30, they have to reboost themselves again. Because don't forget about gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity set in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So everything drops. So now when you got something fake in you, and you got outside is your skin, that's going to drop. So that's another surgery.
Every 10 years.
Yeah.
You got to get it done.
I had an incident where I heard this, and this is a true story. Woman got divorced. She got separated by her family. She was a young woman. She went to go get operated on. She wanted to fix herself up. What happened was she went under the knife, and she had a heart attack. And now the person is in a hospital.
Wow.
How far do these people want to go to look themselves, to have a relationship with somebody else? You know what I'm saying? This is one that I heard. There is so many people out there like that. They go to different countries
Correct.
just to look good, so a guy can say, "Wow, I want to have sex with her." Not even a relationship.
Well, you know, sometimes I've heard from ladies, it's not also for guys, but it's also for other women. I mean, other women judge other women more than any guy would judge a woman based on their purse. We don't care about their purse. We might care about their bust. your butt,
We don't even care about the stocking.
or their you don't care about their
Hey, like my
shoes.
socks?
Oh, nice plug.
Nice plug, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice plug.
I did that.
And I think what you said about the media definitely has a big influence on it, because even look at the movie now with 50 Shades. That's what these girls, even young girls, they know about 50 Shades movie, and that's what they're looking up to and as an icon, and they think that's what romance is, and that's what, you know.
Exactly.
but-
You meet a guy just because he's
Yeah.
wealthy and everything. You have sex with him, experiment, and there's no relationship, but it's happening, and you're thinking it's going somewhere, and everyone's thinking, oh, it's going somewhere. But the fact is, you just met a guy, and things are happening. They're supposed to be in a relationship, but it's really not.
And he's not treating her right. He's disrespectful to her. They said if he wasn't a billionaire in the movie, then it would have been an episode of CSI or something.
Exactly.
Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to see it. That's what it is.
50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
You know what I watched that I felt bad?
Because we're in the man cave, we watch movies.
Yeah, it's a guy.
Yeah.
Watch
It's a
shows.
guy. Actually, you guys know I got a man cave.
Yes.
All right, a lot of guys
Okay.
come in there, sit
Nice.
down and smoke. We always talk. But I actually seen this show on with this couples that I don't know if you heard. I don't know the name of the movie, but it was a girl and a boy. They both had cancer, but the boy in the beginning didn't have the cancer. This girl did, and she was going to die. So they fell in a relationship. It was going to be her last days in life.
Oh, I heard of that movie.
I don't know the name. True Love. I think it was True Love. I actually cried because the guy died first.
Sounds
And
like
he
a chick
didn't tell
flick.
her.
Jeez.
It
Some
was a
guys
chick
always
flick.
die
Yeah, it
first.
sounds like.
It was a chick flick, and you know what? I started tearing. Actually, like I felt teary, which I went to go see a lot of movies that I don't tear. You know, I'm a tough guy. You know, I don't
Yeah.
cry, but as I'm getting older, I see the relationships on TV and movies, and that was a good flick. That was a relationship. That was a relationship without sex, but then they had sex. It was a relationship. Those are the old-fashioned relationships that I think that's appropriate. Today, I know I can go out. I know Tommy can go out and probably just sit by the bar and look good. And maybe a couple of girls will walk over to us, and maybe they'll say, hey, you guys, especially you, old man, let's go. But where's it going to go? It ain't going to go anywhere. It's the sex.
Exactly, but
No
that's the thing.
relationship.
To them, sometimes they think that this is that's their way of getting a relationship, even though,
By giving a guy sex.
yeah,
Or rebellion too, just to feel like that sneakiness, that rebelling against something. You know, that's what I found as well.
yeah, that woman power thing.
Do you
that's-
guys find when you go out, being single guys, that these women you're hooking
Meeting,
up with,
yeah.
meeting, have boyfriends or husbands or
Yes,
fiancés, or is that out there a lot?
definitely.
You seeing
Yeah,
that a
that's a
lot, Raj?
good one.
That
Good
is
question, right?
Absolutely, because
You're
there
welcome.
probably are a lot of guys that say, hey, wifey, even guys, stay home, I'm going out with the boys, and then
No.
going out with girls.
I've ran into a lot of women nowadays that they do have a boyfriend, a husband,
Living with somebody.
living with someone,
Wow.
you know, and the way the society is now, if they feel like they're not getting what they want at home, and I'm talking about like most of these women that I run into that are in that situation are usually abused women, and usually women that are going through a lot at home. So their escape is to have sex or create a relationship outside of a main relationship with someone else who, in most cases, they have nothing in common with.
Right.
But they will go
But he's
out
not
there.
beating her,
Yeah,
or he's-
yeah, exactly.
maybe he's
saying
treating her a little
he's
better.
treating her a little better, saying the nice things that she would want her initial
Yes.
significant other to say.
Right.
And so you know, even though they might, and they might actually call it a relationship, but what it actually is an escape. And that's what's happening a lot now. There's a lot of that going on, more than people dare to even admit. You know, there's guys that go around that actually know that women are doing this, but they don't want to face it, so they turn a blind eye to it. You know, but and I can tell you from experience, there are too many women doing that. I have seen women at a club with their man. The man's at the bar, and they're already slipping numbers.
Wow.
And they're saying, "Oh, let's be friends," or stuff like that. They never, you know, they make it look that way, but you're just their escape. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, you have the things that their men don't have. And women want the whole package. You know, women want everything. If you ask any woman, what does she want? The answer is always everything. So they want it all. And if they can't get it from him, and the way the movies and the media shows it, if you ain't getting what you're getting from him, girl, you can go out there and find something else. And that's what these women are doing now.
Or sometimes, especially in our culture, the Indian or Caribbean culture, which teaches more of having this family life at home to stay together and so forth. I find that also with what you're saying, it's a vicious cycle though, with the ladies know that the guys are doing this to them, so they want to retaliate and get back at them, be revengeful, whether the guy finds out or not. And they'll do that, so slip the number at the bar if the guy's not looking, just to retaliate. And I've also been, years ago, I remember in situations where it was like several females that I met, I thought they weren't even together with someone else, and I was getting trapped in that so that their actual person they were with could catch me with them.
Yeah,
you know,
just the jealousy shit.
Jealousy, and just
Right.
because they caught their
Yeah.
spouse like that.
Wow.
So I have to be, I mean, us the single guys, we have to be careful of that too. I mean, I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I don't play with fire when I know they're in a relationship just because I don't want any problems. But I know that I could be set up all the time, especially us, we're going out there. It's just, you have to really know what you're doing.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but now where does relationship starts then? You understand? They're faking.
Yes.
So now you're out there, you're falling in love with this girl, and next thing you know, the guy's coming at your door knocking on, what are you doing with my wife? Right?
Right, so where do you go? Where do you go?
Where do you find?
Where do you go to find?
What is this relationship?
I just,
So it's all about sex.
yeah, but it's all about sex. But I hate to admit, if it's gonna go to relationship, I hate to admit this out to you, and I hate to admit this to time, but we're gonna have to go somehow in a way old school.
They ain't gonna go old school no more.
I know, but it won't. But we have to figure out a medium between both.
Some balance has to be there.
Well,
yeah.
guys, this has been quite a good topic, good conversation. As you see, we can see we've had some answers. We came out with more questions. But at the end of the day, we have to admit that sex and relationship is a blur line now. It's not the same.
And it's discussed about in the man cave.
Yep, exactly. Always discussed in the Man Cave. And guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone watching the Man Cave. I'm Jay, Alperna, Tommy, Raj. We see you in the next episode. It was a
out.
great time.
Thank you.
Peace out.